The answer you have been waiting on for so long is finally here. The miracle you have prayed for, wept for, and whispered about in the silence of your darkest nights has been delivered. I ask you to open your heart to this moment right now. Your guardian angel is urging you to pause, to breathe, and to stay present. My child, my beloved, you were meant to see this. This is not a random occurrence. It is not an algorithm's accident. You were meant to find this message not tomorrow, not in an hour, but right now, in this precise second of your life. There is something I've been holding in the energetic realms of heaven just for you. It has your name written on it in light. It carries the specific answer you have cried for when you thought no one was listening. The one your soul has whispered about when the world was too loud to hear you. And now, heaven has given me permission to release it into your reality. Subscribe right now if your heart feels even a little tug, because the next few words are not just a message. They are a miracle transaction from heaven to earth. And you are the only one this specific frequency is for. But miracles multiply when they are shared. I urge you to share this message with someone you love, or even on your timeline. By extending this blessing to others, you multiply the favor over your own life. Be the vessel that flows, not the dam that blocks. But there is one thing I must ask of you before we go any further. I ask that you do not rush past this. In the past, every time you have hurried through a moment of stillness, a blessing was delayed. It was not denied, never denied. But it was delayed because your spirit was not quiet enough to catch it. But today is different. Today is the turning point. But before we go further, please do not walk away again. Subscribe to this channel right now as a prophetic act of alignment. By joining this community, you are telling the universe that you are no longer wandering, but you are positioned to hear the daily instructions heaven is sending you. Today is different because the delay is officially over, and the delivery has already arrived at your spiritual doorstep. If your spirit is open to receiving this delivery, type Amen in the comments right now. By doing so, you are unlocking the spiritual door and giving permission for this blessing to enter your reality. Yes, the miracle has been delivered, and I, Archangel Michael, am guiding you, gently urging you to open your spirit, open your spiritual eyes, and receive what is already yours. If your heart feels even a little tug right now, if you feel a strange warmth in your chest, or a sudden need to listen, trust that feeling. That is your intuition resonating with truth. My child, the angels are not surprised you are seeing this now. They have waited patiently for you to be ready. Please understand, they were not waiting for you to be perfect. Perfection is a human concept, not a divine requirement. They were waiting for you to be ready. And you are there. There has been so much pain in your waiting, hasn't there? I have seen the nights you looked up at the ceiling, tears streaming into your pillow, and asked, God, when? When will it be my turn? I have seen the days you watched others being blessed, seeing them celebrate the very things you have been praying for, and a quiet thought crossed your mind. Did heaven forget me? But I tell you now, with all the love and authority of the celestial realms, heaven did not forget you. We were never ignoring you. We were preparing something that required time, not because of punishment, but because of the magnitude of the blessing. What you are about to receive isn't small. It is not a temporary fix. This isn't a blessing that comes and goes like the wind. It is a divine shift, a brand new season, a fundamental change in the direction of your destiny. And you, yes, you are the one chosen to walk into it. My beloved, I've been watching you through your heartbreaks, through the fake smiles you wore to work so no one would ask what was wrong, and through the silence when you didn't even have the strength to pray anymore. Heaven did not ignore one single tear. You thought your prayers bounced back unanswered. You thought they hit the ceiling and dissolved. But they were not ignored. They were gathered. Every sigh, every silent plea was echoed in the chambers of heaven. And now, the final answer has come. You must understand the nature of the delay you have endured. You must not skip this realization because there is a spiritual key embedded in these words, a key that will unlock the next door of your life. If you do not understand why you waited, you will not be able to maintain the blessing when it arrives. If you walk away from this understanding, the door may remain shut for a little longer, simply because you are not holding the key. But if you stay, if you truly open this message with your whole heart, that door will swing open, and the miracle will meet you like a fresh wind on a hot day. My child, my beloved, there is someone watching you from the spiritual realm right now. Perhaps it is a guide, or perhaps it is someone you loved who is no longer on earth. They have seen how long you have waited, and they are whispering to me now. Tell them I see them. Tell them I have been guiding this all along. You are not alone. You have never been alone. The energy you felt last night, that sudden tug in your chest, the vivid voice in your dream, yes, that was real. It was not your imagination playing tricks on you. It was all leading to this moment, to this confirmation, to this arrival, because heaven's miracle has finally landed on your path, and your name is written in gold on it. Do you believe this is for you? If you sense your name is on this blessing, declare it by writing, "I claim it," below. Let the universe see that you are no longer hiding, but standing ready to own what is yours. And I ask you to press the like button on this video right now. Let this simple action be a signal to the heavens that you believe this report. By doing so, you are releasing a spark of faith that accelerates this delivery into the natural realm. My child, there are people around you who will not understand why you are glowing soon. They will look at you and ask what changed. They will wonder what new strategy you used or who you met. And you won't be able to explain it in words they understand, because what is coming to you is not man-made. It is heaven-sent. It is not based on your university qualifications. It is not dependent on who you know in high places. It is based on who you are, a chosen vessel, a child of divine destiny. This is your moment of activation. My child, my beloved, there is a divine wind moving through your life right now. Even if you cannot see it with your physical eyes, even if everything looks still on the surface, trust the shift. Even if your reality looks the same as it did yesterday, the same bills, the same struggles, the same routine, you must remember that heaven doesn't operate by appearances. God doesn't wait for visible evidence to start moving, and neither do I. I have been walking with you through the invisible realms. I have been commanding angels to clear the path for you, even when you were asleep and dreaming of a better life. There are things you have been praying for that haven't arrived yet, not because they were denied, but because they were being vigorously protected. This is a profound spiritual truth. Sometimes, my beloved, your soul is not ready to receive what your heart is begging for. If you were given a massive responsibility before your shoulders were strong enough to carry it, the blessing would have crushed you, not healed you. The Father, in His infinite mercy, waits for the moment when your hands can hold what your tears once longed for without trembling. That moment has come now. That is why this message didn't reach you last week. That is why you didn't see this video last month or in the moment you begged for it on the floor. It is arriving now because now you are ready to recognize it, not just as an answer, but as a responsibility and a gift. This is not a random message. This is not a coincidence. In the timing of heaven, there are no accidents. This is your confirmation. This is the whisper behind the veil becoming a trumpet in the sky. What I need you to understand deeply, my child, is that the delay did not mean disqualification. This is where the enemy tries to trick you. He tries to tell you that because it hasn't happened yet, it never will. He tries to whisper that you aren't good enough, or that you missed your window of opportunity. But I am here to correct the record. The delay meant divine preparation. You were not being forgotten. You were being forged. Think of the diamond deep within the earth. It is pressed, heated, and buried in darkness for eons. If you took it out too early, it would be nothing but coal. You have been in the pressure chamber. Every closed door shaped your discernment. Every lonely night purified your heart and taught you to rely on your own inner strength. Every unanswered prayer built a spiritual stamina that now makes you capable of holding what is coming. And let me tell you, it is coming faster than you think. The acceleration has already begun. Some of it has already started, even if you haven't labeled it as a miracle yet. Have you felt that strange shift in your spirit over the last few days? That sudden burst of energy in the middle of your exhaustion? That unexpected peace that settled over you when you didn't have a logical reason to feel calm? Those were signs. They were not small, insignificant moments. They were the announcement of this moment. They were the tremors before the breakthrough. And now, here we are. You, me, the angels, and the unseen cloud of witnesses from heaven that have been rooting for you all along. My child, my beloved, I see how long you have been holding on quietly, faithfully, with the trembling hope that perhaps this time heaven would answer. And I want you to know, with every fiber of your soul, that your hope was never in vain. Hope is the currency of the spiritual realm, and you have invested well. I, Archangel Michael, have been at your side through the moments you thought no one was watching, through the hours when your chest ached from waiting, when your hands folded in prayer but your heart whispered doubt. I stood beside you. There was never a second, not even one, when heaven took its eyes off you. You were never invisible to God. You were carved into His vision. Your name spoken in the courts of heaven with reverence. Your spirit was monitored like a precious flame that could not be allowed to go out, no matter how strong the winds of life blew against it. You have been tested, yes. I will not deny the difficulty of your journey, but you have also been chosen. You have passed through fire that would have burned others to ash, and you came through with your soul still shining. The enemy tried to convince you that nothing was changing. He tried to use the silence against you. But I tell you now, the silence was never the absence of God. It was the sound of divine rearrangement. It was the stillness before the trumpet. And beloved, the trumpet is sounding now. What you are walking into is not ordinary. This is the kind of shift that bends the laws of nature. This is the kind of breakthrough that makes others question how it happened so fast. But you will know. You will remember this moment, this very message, and you will say, "This was the hour it began." Because even now, the angel assigned to your household is activating the next phase of your destiny. Yes, there is an angel standing in your space right now. Even as you read this, they are whispering instructions to the atmosphere, commanding a movement of light around you. Something is being delivered to you. Not later, not next year, but in the immediacy of the spiritual now. It may not be visible to the natural eye just yet, but the spiritual transaction is complete. Heaven has released it. The seal is broken. The answer is out. Your only task now is to stay aligned. Do not walk away from this energy. Do not get distracted by the noise of the world. Do not dismiss this as just another video or just another message, because this one is different. This contains the frequency of your breakthrough. This is the moment heaven has been orchestrating for months, maybe years, and your guardian angel has been guarding it like a secret scroll, waiting for the green light. The green light has come, my child, my beloved. I know how tired you have been. You have been carrying weight that was never meant to be yours alone. You have cried in rooms where no one heard you, stifling the sound so you wouldn't disturb others. You have smiled in moments when your heart was breaking open in silence. And yet, you never stopped believing that something greater was coming. That tiny spark of belief is what saved you. That is why this message is here. That is why heaven wouldn't let you miss it. Because this is the confirmation your soul has been craving. No, you weren't crazy to believe. No, you weren't wrong to hope again and again, even when everything in the natural world tried to convince you to give up. You were guided. Heaven was working behind the veil while the enemy whispered lies to your ears. But I was there. I saw the resistance. I saw the delays. And I shielded you from the worst of it. You didn't even see the magnitude of what I deflected on your behalf. There were traps set that I dismantled before your foot ever touched the trigger. There were words spoken against you in secret that I silenced before they could take root. There were plans plotted in darkness, but they failed because your name has been written on the scroll of divine preservation. You were never abandoned. You were hidden for a reason. This is a hard truth to accept when you are in the middle of loneliness, but you must hear it now. You see, when something is rare, heaven wraps it carefully. When a destiny is great, it must be guarded. You have wondered why your path has been so lonely compared to others. You have wondered why you seem to lose friends or partners just when things get deep. That was not an accident. That's why certain people walked away. That's why doors slammed shut in your face when you were nothing but kind. That's why the love you gave so freely was not returned in the way you deserved. It wasn't your fault. It was protection. There was a divine filtering happening in your life. God was not punishing you by removing people. He was preserving the purity of your spirit for the chapter you are now entering. Imagine a surgeon preparing for a life-saving operation. The room must be sterile. No contaminants are allowed. In the same way, God had to sterilize your environment. He had to remove people who carried the germs of doubt, jealousy, and stagnation. They could not go where you are going. If they had stayed, they would have capped your growth. If they had stayed, their small vision would have eventually suffocated your big destiny. So, heaven removed them. Now you must align with the right circle. Subscribe to this channel to surround yourself with those who speak life, not death. This is your new spiritual family, and your subscription is your commitment to walk with those who are soaring, not sinking. It hurt, yes. It felt like rejection, yes. But in the eyes of the angels, it was a rescue mission. God was preserving you. He was keeping your energy clear for this specific time. You are entering a season where you will need every ounce of your spiritual focus. You could not afford to be drained by drama or weighed down by people who only wanted to take from you. The isolation you felt was actually an incubator. You were being kept warm and safe while your wings were developing. And now, the incubation period is over. The shell is cracking. You are stepping out, not as the person who was rejected, but as the person who was protected. You are realizing that your losses were actually the removal of heavy weights that would have prevented you from soaring. This brings us to the announcement I came to make. The season of hiding is ending, and the season of manifestation is beginning. This is not just a turning point, it is a divine detonation. The word shift is too small to describe what is about to happen. A shift implies moving something slightly to the left or right. What is happening to you is an explosion of light in a dark room. Something you thought had died is about to bloom. There are dreams you buried years ago, thinking, well, I guess that wasn't for me. You mourned them. You put flowers on the grave of those dreams and walked away. But God is a God of resurrection. Something you thought had passed you by is circling back around. But this time, it looks different. This time, it has heaven's seal on it. If you are ready for your second chance, type Amen below. Let this be your sign to the angels that you have not given up hope, and you are ready to welcome this returned blessing. It is coming back with interest. It is coming back matured. This is the part of your story where the winds change direction instantly. Have you ever stood outside when the weather turned? One moment it is still, and the next, a fresh breeze hits your face, signaling a storm or a clearing. That is where you are spiritually. The lost things are being returned. The silence is being broken. And the most beautiful part? Your enemies, the spiritual forces that opposed you and the people who doubted you, will begin to whisper in confusion. They will look at your life and ask, how did this happen so suddenly? They knew you were struggling. They saw you when you were down. They wrote you off. But they forgot one factor. They forgot who your Father is. They forgot that when God breathes on a situation, time collapses. What takes a human 10 years to build, God can build in 10 days. You are about to step into a season of supernatural acceleration. The qualifications they said you lacked will not matter. The resources they said you didn't have will be provided. You will not be able to explain it to them, and you shouldn't try. You will know, beloved. You will remember this message. You will remember sitting here, reading these words, and your heart will say, it began here. This is the moment the tide turned. You are going to see a reversal of fortune that is so complete, it will feel like you are living in a different timeline. The debt that drowned you will be cleared. The sickness that plagued you will lose its grip. The loneliness that haunted you will be replaced by genuine, soul-deep connections. But please, remember this warning. Do not try to bring the old habits into this new season. Do not try to bring the old fear into this new joy. You must release the trauma of the past to fully embrace the treasure of the future. My child, my beloved, there is something sacred stirring around your life right now. Can you feel it? I need you to pause for a second. Stop reading, close your eyes for just a moment, and feel the air around you. It is subtle, like a whisper through the branches of a tree at night. It is gentle, but it is constant, and it is not of this world. You have been so busy surviving, so busy fighting battles, that you almost forgot how to notice the atmosphere. You have been in warrior mode for so long that you forgot how to be in receiver mode. But heaven has not forgotten. Heaven has awakened the winds on your behalf. If you can feel that wind stirring, like this video as an act of agreement, let your touch on that button be the physical evidence that you are awake, alert, and ready to receive the shift that is blowing your way. The invisible has already been set into motion. Things are shifting behind the scenes in rooms you have never entered. Names are being erased from lists where you were once rejected. Contracts are being drafted. Relationships are being aligned. And your name is being written into divine spaces that are far above your current understanding. That is why you have been feeling disoriented lately. I know you have felt it, that sense of being off balance. You wake up and feel like you don't fit in your own life anymore. You go to work and feel like a stranger. You look at your friends and feel a distance. This is not because something is wrong. This is because your soul senses the elevation even before it arrives in the natural world. Think of it like being in an elevator that suddenly shoots upward. Your body feels the pull of gravity. You feel a little dizzy. The ground beneath you is not shaking because you are falling. It is shifting because you are rising. And beloved, you are not just rising slowly. You are about to soar. This next chapter will look nothing like the last one. The old clothes don't fit because the person wearing them has grown. The pain you thought was permanent will become a distant memory. The confusion will clear like morning mist when the sun rises. The heaviness that has sat on your chest like a stone will lift. And the doors that once mocked you with their silence, those doors that stood firmly locked no matter how hard you banged on them, will begin to open. But they won't just open. They will swing wide with such divine ease that you will weep. You will not weep from sadness. You will weep from holy shock. You will look at the open door and say, God, is it really this easy? And He will answer, it is easy now because you are ready. You will not recognize the version of you that is about to emerge, because what heaven is doing isn't just an external blessing. It is a transformation from within. Your voice will carry new authority. Have you noticed lately that when you speak, people listen differently? Have you noticed that you have less tolerance for nonsense? That is the authority rising up in you. Your presence will disturb the darkness. You will walk into rooms and feel the atmosphere shift, not because of what you are wearing or what you say, but because of the light you carry. You were never created to be overlooked. You were never built to stay in the background, making everyone else comfortable while you shrink. The enemy tried to silence your light by breaking your confidence. He surrounded you with betrayal to make you mistrust your own judgment. He exhausted you with repeated disappointment so you would stop dreaming. He wanted you tired. He wanted you cynical. But it didn't work. Look at you. You are still here. You are still breathing. You are still seeking God. You are still believing in miracles. That is your victory. And for that resilience, you are about to be rewarded in front of many. Yes, I said in front of many. God is going to make it public. The blessings of the secret place are about to become the blessings of the public square. The same people who ignored your value will watch your name be called. The ones who laughed at your struggle will witness your supernatural rise. But listen closely to me. This is not revenge. God does not bless you to be petty. This is restoration. This is God setting the record straight. It is His way of saying, "This is my child, and I am pleased with them." Heaven's vindication is kind, quiet, powerful, undeniable, and unstoppable. My child, my beloved. There are moments when heaven sends silence not to punish you, but to protect what is still being written. You have been in that kind of silence for a long time. The kind that makes you question your worth. The kind that makes you question your prayers. You have asked, "Am I talking to the air? Is anyone listening?" It is the kind of silence that makes the ticking of the clock feel louder than the voice of God. But I need you to understand something fundamental about the nature of the divine. And I speak this with all the authority that has been entrusted to me in the heavens. Silence from God is not absence. It is intense focus. Think of an artist painting a masterpiece. When they are doing the broad strokes, they might talk and hum. But when they are working on the intricate details, the eyes, the delicate features, they go silent. They hold their breath. They focus completely. God has been silent because He is working on the details of your destiny. He is working on the delicate parts of your future that require absolute precision. Every time you felt overlooked, you were actually being covered by His hand to keep you still while He worked. Every closed door was not rejection. It was redirection. It was divine rerouting. You have been led through a maze, not because God was confused about your future, but because He was strategically leading you around enemy traps you didn't even know were set for you. You have no idea what you have been saved from. You may never know what dangers you avoided. You may never know what battles were fought in the spirit realm while you slept. You may never know what curses were broken before they ever touched your skin. But I saw them. I fought some of them with my own sword. I have blocked accidents. I have confused people who meant you harm. I have steered you away from opportunities that looked good like gold, but were actually traps. And now, as I stand here beside you with heaven's wind all around us, I tell you this: the path is clear. The danger has passed. The traps have been disarmed. The hour is here. And what God is releasing cannot be undone by any man or any force. You are not just stepping into another season. You are stepping into a divine appointment that was written before you were born. That is why nothing else worked for you. You have tried to fit into molds that were too small for your spirit. You have tried to walk paths that others walked easily, but every time you tried, you felt a friction, a resistance. You weren't meant to blend in. You were meant to break patterns. You were born to shift atmospheres. When you walk into a room, things change. Have you noticed that? Sometimes people get agitated around you for no reason. Sometimes strangers tell you their deepest secrets within minutes of meeting you. That is the anointing on your life. That is why the enemy targeted you so early. He saw the mark on you when you were just a child. He saw the oil of gladness and the mantle of leadership before you even knew who you were. He tried to dim your light through childhood trauma, through early rejection, through betrayal, and through deep loneliness. He thought if he could break you early, you would never rise. But what he didn't understand is the physics of the divine. Pressure only makes diamonds brighter. And you, beloved, are a diamond forged by fire. You are not fragile. You are not a victim. You are anointed. You are not lost. You are hidden for such a time as this. And that time, that long-awaited, prophesied, angel-backed moment is standing right in front of you now. I ask you, are you ready to open the door? If you are, type yes or amen in the comments. Do not let fear keep the latch locked. Your agreement in this moment acts as the key. The miracle is not on the way in some distant future. The miracle is already here. It is delivered, unboxed, and authorized. It is standing at the door of your life, knocking. And heaven is watching to see if you will open with trust, or if you will turn away in fear because you are so used to disappointment. My child, my beloved, this is the part where everything begins to make sense, not just spiritually, but even in your memory. You are about to have what I call a Joseph moment, where you look back at the pit, the prison, and the pain, and you suddenly see the golden thread connecting it all. The pain you couldn't understand, the loss you couldn't explain, the delay that broke your heart. It is all going to align like puzzle pieces falling into divine place. You have been asking, why? Why did I have to go through so much? Why was my road so much harder than theirs? And heaven's response is not silence anymore. It is revelation. You had to be set apart to be lifted up. You had to be broken open so the oil inside you could pour out. Think of the olive. It must be crushed to produce the oil that lights the lamp. If you hadn't gone through what you went through, you would have never discovered the power that was buried inside your spirit. You would have stayed on the surface of life. But God needed you deep. God knew what was inside you. I knew. And now that power is rising. Now the gifts you didn't even know you had are about to burst through the surface. That is why your atmosphere is trembling. That is why people who once ignored you are now sensing your presence even from afar. They feel it. The shift, the calling, the weight of heaven resting on your shoulders like an invisible crown they cannot comprehend, but must respect. And what is coming next cannot be copied. This is vital for you to know. Do not look at what others are doing. Do not compare your timeline to your neighbor's timeline. What is coming next cannot be faked. This blessing is marked with your name alone. No one else can carry it. No one else can wear it. It is a custom-fit miracle. No one else can open the scroll that has been sealed for your hands only. The enemy has tried every trick to wear you out before this moment. He used discouragement like a heavy weapon. He tried to make your dreams seem foolish. He whispered lies into your ears and used familiar voices to echo them, hoping you would forget what heaven whispered into your soul in your quiet moments. But you didn't forget. Not truly. Even when you doubted, a small ember of hope still flickered beneath the ashes. That ember, beloved, is why this miracle has found you. Faith the size of a mustard seed is all that was required, and you offered that. Show your gratitude for this truth by liking this video. It is a small gesture, but in the spirit realm, gratitude is the magnet that pulls miracles closer. Like this now to magnetize the blessing. God has not overlooked you. You are not behind in life. You are exactly on God's schedule. You are right on time. And this miracle, this massive, stunning, undeniable breakthrough, has already begun unfolding in the spirit realm. It is like a ship that has already docked at the harbor. You just haven't walked down to the water yet to see it. But the cargo is there. The provision is there. In the next few days, you will begin to feel it in your body. This is how the spirit manifests in the physical. You will wake up differently. You will wake up with a song in your heart or a feeling of lightness you haven't felt in years. You will see signs. You will see names that mean something to you. You will see numbers that repeat, like 1111 or 444, which are codes of angelic alignment. You will dream things that come to pass the very next day. You will receive messages that feel too accurate to be coincidence because they are not coincidences. They are instructions. Pay attention now. This is the hour where heaven teaches you how to carry what is yours. Ensure you are subscribed so you do not miss the next lesson. This is not just a video, it is a school of the Spirit. Your subscription secures your seat in this season of learning and elevation. This is the hour where you begin to feel like your real self again. Not the version life molded you into, the scared, defensive, tired version, but the version heaven designed. The version of you that is bold, loving, creative, and free. My child, my beloved, do not underestimate what is about to unfold. It may start small. It often does. Elijah saw a cloud the size of a man's hand before the heavy rain came. It might start as a strange coincidence. A name you suddenly hear 3 times in one day. An offer that comes out of nowhere for an opportunity you didn't apply for. A dream you can't shake off that feels more real than your waking life. But I urge you, pay attention. Do not brush these things off. What looks small on the surface is actually evidence of alignment. It is the first drop of rain before the downpour. Heaven never announces miracles with a trumpet in the sky first. No, it always begins with a whisper, a nudge, a divine ripple in the water. And you are already standing in that ripple. The wave is forming, and it will crash into your life with such beautiful force. But this wave will not drown you. It will water you. It will wash away the debris of the past. You will find yourself weeping, not from fear, but from holy relief. You will feel a weight lift off your shoulders that you didn't even realize you were carrying until it was gone. You won't have to force this door open. You won't have to beg for this opportunity. You won't have to perform or dance for people's approval. Why? Because this was written for you long ago, before the pain, before the setbacks, before the betrayals. This blessing was already scheduled. You see, the plan was always bigger than the wound. The promise was always stronger than the storm. The enemy thought he could derail you, but he only managed to strengthen you. What the enemy tried to convince you was over, what you almost gave up on, is now being resurrected by heaven's own hand. If you receive this resurrection power, type Amen to seal it. Let your comment be a signal that you are done with the struggle and you are fully embracing the victory heaven has planned. And I have been sent to prepare you for it, because, my beloved, we must have an honest conversation. What good is a miracle if your heart is too bruised to receive it? What good is a door opening if you are so used to being rejected that you no longer knock? What good is a blessing if you self-sabotage it because you don't feel worthy? That is why God sent me to speak to you now. Not to impress you, not to scare you, but to awaken you. Because, beloved, you have been half asleep, haven't you? You have been living in survival mode. You have been going through the motions, making yourself smaller, letting days pass without expecting wonder. You stopped looking at the sky. You stopped expecting good news. But that is not who you were created to be. You are heaven's evidence on earth. You are a living prophecy. You are a walking answer to prayers your ancestors once cried for in the dark. You are the one who breaks the generational curse. You are the one who sets a new standard for your bloodline. If you accept this mantle of the cycle breaker, subscribe now. It is a sign of your obedience to the call. It signifies that you are locked in, focused, and ready to lead your bloodline into a new era. And now, you are being positioned, not by luck, not by coincidence, but by divine instruction. That restlessness you have been feeling lately, That quiet frustration that says, there must be more than this, that is not depression. That is not ingratitude. It is your spirit saying, it is time now. It is the alarm clock of your soul ringing. It is the angel inside you waking up and stretching its wings. And I am here to tell you, yes, it is time. Time to stop shrinking. Time to stop waiting for permission from people who do not hold the keys to your destiny. Time to receive. And most importantly, time to believe again. My child, my beloved, you have been walking around with a quiet ache that no one could fully understand. You have learned to smile through spiritual weight. You have laughed in rooms where you were barely breathing inside. You have stood strong for others, being their rock, while secretly crumbling behind closed doors. And all the while, heaven was watching. We were not watching to judge you. We were watching to record. Every tear, every silent scream, every moment you bit your tongue and kept the peace when all you wanted was to be seen, heard, and chosen. I tell you now, none of it was in vain. Not 1 second of your suffering was wasted. Not one step, not one sacrifice. They have all been collected like sacred offerings, and they are now forming the foundation of what is being released into your life. This miracle isn't just compensation, it is divine justice. You are not being rewarded because you were perfect. You are being elevated because you endured, because you did not curse the process, because even with a broken heart, you stayed open to love. Because even when your prayers were delayed, you kept whispering, Amen. That kind of faith, beloved, bends the heart of God. That kind of faith moves angels. That kind of faith is why I am here now, declaring to you that what you are about to receive will not only restore you, it will rewrite what was taken from you. There are parts of your story that felt like cruel mistakes. People who left. Doors that slammed. Chapters that ended without warning. You have been carrying unanswered questions, trying to make peace with what felt unfinished. But the truth is, they had to exit. Not because you weren't worthy of their presence, but because their presence couldn't survive the weight of your next elevation. Some connections were only meant to be scaffolding, temporary structures to support your early growth. But when the building is finished, the scaffolding must come down so the beauty can be seen. Now the structure is ready. Now the foundation is strong. Build upon this foundation by subscribing. Do not let this be a fleeting moment. Secure your alignment with this new season by pressing that subscribe button, ensuring that as God builds you up, you remain connected to the source of this truth. And what is coming into your life next isn't temporary. It is eternal in nature. The friendships, the resources, the opportunities, the love, they are being sent from a different realm. These are not surface-level blessings. These are divine alignments forged in spiritual fire, rooted in your destiny's soil. That is why you had to walk alone for so long. So when this alignment arrives, you won't mistake it for coincidence. You will recognize it by how it feels. It will feel familiar, peaceful, sacred. That is how you will know. That is how you will remember this moment. My child, my beloved, you have no idea how close you are. Truly, you have been walking for so long through shadows, through setbacks, through silence, that you almost forgot what it feels like to be on the edge of something holy. But I am here to tell you, you are standing at the edge of it now. There is a vibration moving in the spirit realm, circling your name, circling your household, circling the places you have wept, the rooms you have prayed in, the hands you have raised in surrender when you had nothing else left to give. You didn't even realize you were being prepared to receive the very thing you thought was lost, but heaven is not like man. God does not lose track of what he promises, and what he promised you in secret is about to show up in public. There is going to be a moment very soon where you will feel time slow down. You will feel it physically in your body. Your chest will tighten, not with anxiety, but with anticipation. Your soul will rise to attention like a soldier hearing a bugle call. And you will know, this is it. This is the moment. The one heaven has been preparing. The one your spirit has been waiting for. It might be a phone call that changes your financial trajectory. It might be a name mentioned in a passing conversation that unlocks a door you've been banging on for years. It might be a divine encounter that changes everything in 5 minutes. But make no mistake, it will be undeniable. There will be no room for doubt. There will be no question of, is this it? You will know in your gut. And when it comes, I want you to remember this specific instruction. Receive it with humility, but hold it with confidence. You didn't earn this with your perfection. You couldn't have. You were chosen for this because of your endurance. You stayed in the race when your legs were cramping. You stayed in the fight when you had no weapons left but your prayers. This isn't just about you. It never was. I need you to grasp the magnitude of your assignment. Your breakthrough is going to unlock something for others. Your life is going to become a signal fire on a dark mountain. People will look at you, people in your family, your community, even strangers on the internet, and suddenly believe again. They will look at your restoration and say, if God did that for them, surely He can do it for me too. You are becoming living proof. You are becoming a testimony that breathes. That is why the battle over your life was so intense. That is why the warfare came in waves that seemed unending. The enemy wasn't just trying to stop you. He was trying to stop the people you are assigned to help. He knew that if you broke through, you would pull 1,000 others through the door with you. Because you are not just another soul occupying space on earth. You are a carrier of glory. You are a divine turning point wrapped in skin. You are the key to someone else's prison. And I, Archangel Michael, have been watching over your story since the beginning. I know every detail. I know what you survived that no one applauded. I know the betrayals you swallowed without seeking revenge. I know the prayers you buried in your pillow at 3 a.m. because no one else could hold your truth. I know, and heaven knows. And because of that, heaven has decided in your favor. The legal proceedings in the spirit realm have concluded. The accuser has been silenced. The scales have tipped. The judgment is rendered, and the outcome is this: restitution, 7-fold restoration. Do you accept this verdict? Type Amen in the comments to sign your name on this decree. Let it be known in the spiritual courts that you have accepted your restoration and you are ready to receive. If you receive this restitution, like this video to seal the verdict, let this act serve as your gavel striking the sound block, confirming that the enemy has lost and you have won. The years that the locusts have eaten are being returned to you. The energy you poured into black holes is being returned to you as light. Your life will never be the same after this message. My child, my beloved, there is a reason this message refused to be skipped. There is a reason your spirit paused even when your mind, conditioned by the fast pace of the world, was ready to scroll away. Because something inside you, the deep ancient part of you, knew that this is not just a message. This is a spiritual intervention. This is a divine interception. You have reached a threshold, and the next step is too important to take without hearing from heaven. That is why I, Archangel Michael, was sent. Not to repeat what you already know, but to deliver what was withheld until the exact moment your heart was finally strong enough to receive it. And that moment is now. You are not the same person you were last year, last month, or even last week. You have outgrown patterns. You have outgrown people. You have outgrown versions of yourself that were built in survival mode, but were never meant for your future. That is why they are falling away. That is why things are suddenly shifting, breaking, and ending. It looks like chaos to the untrained eye, but it is clarity to the spiritual eye. The shaking isn't destroying you, it is undressing you. It is removing the heavy armor you no longer need so you can put on the royal robe you were born to wear. This kind of transformation is sacred. It is loud in the spirit, but often quiet in the natural. And you have been feeling it, haven't you? The strange emptiness, the need to pull away from noise, the aching to be alone, but not lonely. That is your soul rearranging the furniture before heaven moves in with new instructions. And I need you to listen now, more than ever, because something is being handed to you in the unseen realm. And if you move too fast, or if you numb out too quickly with distractions, you might miss the instructions hidden inside the signs. These instructions will not be written in fire across the sky. They will be felt in your body. They will be whispered in your dreams. They will show up in your daily interactions. That is how heaven speaks when the message is personal, and this one is deeply personal. You have cried out, "God, show me a sign." And this message, this exact paragraph you are reading right now, is that sign. The reason this page hasn't let you go is because your destiny has stepped forward. Your guardian angel is sounding the alarm, not out of fear, but out of urgency. This is your moment, not in some metaphorical sense, but literally, energetically, and eternally. If you respond now, not with panic, but with presence, you will see how quickly the divine begins to move. Things you thought would take years to fix will suddenly collapse into weeks. Miracles you forgot to keep asking for will show up wrapped in peace. Your entire atmosphere will shift, and no one around you will be able to explain it. But you will know. You will know because the miracle began here. My child, my beloved, there is something I must tell you, and I want you to receive it with the full weight of heaven behind these words. You were never forgotten, even in the moments when it felt like the world had turned its back, when people you trusted disappeared, when your prayers felt like they were echoing into nothing. Heaven never stopped watching. I never left your side. In fact, I stood even closer in those invisible moments when the pain was too deep to express and the silence too heavy to carry. You see, beloved, when the world grows quiet, heaven leans in. And the silence you endured wasn't abandonment. It was consecration. You were being set apart for something the ordinary cannot contain. That is why nothing regular has ever satisfied you. You weren't born for the common path. You were born to shift timelines, to carry light into places most feared to walk. And yes, it has cost you. You have paid the price in heartbreak, in delay, in betrayal. But the cost was never wasted. It was an investment. Every tear became a seed. And now those seeds have reached maturity. The harvest is arriving. And I do not say that lightly. I say it as one who guards the gates of divine promise. You are standing on a threshold where pain will not follow you through the next door. That grief, it stops here. That confusion, it ends now. That fear that has followed you like a shadow for years, it is being dissolved by the light that is rising inside you as you read these words. You had to walk alone so that when this miracle arrives, you will know it wasn't from man. You will know it wasn't luck or charm or strategy. You will know it was God because no one else could have orchestrated this comeback. No one else could have reversed what was meant to destroy you. And that is exactly what is happening, beloved. A reversal. A heavenly overturning of what the enemy thought was sealed. God has undone the verdict. He has overturned the limitation. And now, in this very hour, things that were locked are unlocking. Blessings that were delayed are rushing forward. The spiritual gates are open, and your name has been announced in the courts of heaven. There is no more waiting. There is only receiving. But receiving requires readiness, and that is why this message reached you. This isn't a coincidence. It is a divine activation. Heaven's way of saying, beloved, get ready. Your soul has passed the test. Now the miracle is being released. I want to pray a final seal of protection over you before you go. I want you to receive this in your spirit. Divine Creator, surrounding angels and the Holy Spirit that moves through all things, I bring this beloved soul before the throne of grace today. I ask that you seal the words of this message into their heart. Let no doubt steal what has been planted. Let no fear snatch away the promise. I decree that the delay is broken. I decree that the season of weeping has ended and the season of rejoicing has begun. I command the angels assigned to this person to go forth and clear the path of all obstacles. Open the doors that no man can shut. Release the resources that have been held up. Restore the relationships that are ordained by you and remove the ones that are distractions. I speak peace over their mind. I speak healing over their body. I speak abundance over their home. Let them walk from this moment forward with the confidence of one who is backed by the armies of heaven. Let them know deeply and truly that they are seen, they are loved, and they are chosen. The struggle ends here. The victory begins now. It is done. It is sealed. It is yours. Like this video one last time to seal this prayer over your life. It is an act of faith that says, I receive it, I believe it, and I anchor it here. My child, my beloved, the message is delivered. The transaction is complete. Now it is up to you to walk in it. Do not look back at the shadow. Look forward at the light. Be the angel for someone else today. Share this video now. There is someone in your circle who is silently drowning, and this message is the lifeline they have been praying for. God will use your hand to deliver their answer. Do not withhold the blessing. Go now in peace. Go in power. And remember, whenever you feel alone, I am but a whisper away. The miracle is yours.